Hello everyone, Ladislas Maurice from the wanderinginvestor.com. Today I'm in Playa del Carmen with Luigi. Luigi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
Good, good, good. So Luigi actually called me a few weeks ago and he was like, Ladislas, you need to come down here to check out a deal. Luigi's trying to rope me into a deal, but also at the same time he was like, you should check out this building because the rental yields, the capitalization rates are very interesting. So when we take a step back, there are essentially two types of investors that come to Playa del Carmen.
Right. There's the investor that's coming in to buy condos, apartments, and they want to put it on Airbnb. They want to do the vacation rental. And they say to me, well, we'll use it a couple of months of the year, maybe a month of the year, but we want to just put it in the vacation rental pool. And that's okay. That's great. A lot of people are doing that. And then there's the other side, which is all of the people working in tourism in Playa del Carmen and the people who live here also need a place to live, which is more long-term rental. And there's a market there, and that's what we're going to take a look at today.
Cool, fantastic. So, yeah, because a lot of people come here, they say, to your point, I want to invest in something, but I want to spend part of the year here. These people need to realize and eventually realize that when you go for part lifestyle, part investment, the reality is that your capitalization rate, your net rental yield is going to be a bit lower. But then again, you know, if you want it for lifestyle, that's perfect, and you have a lot of suitable units for this. Yeah. And again, you want Airbnb so that you have access to your unit. If you're a pure investor and you're just looking at just your cap rate, your rental yields, then we're going to be this is what we're going to be looking at, an entire building that's for sale. How many units?
11 units. So there's 1 2-bedroom and 10 studios.
Great, and not very expensive at all. It's going for approximately $500,000 for 550 square meters. So that is roughly $900 per square meter or $85 per square foot. And it's a 20-minute walk away from here.
Yeah, if you walk down Fifth Avenue, it's about 20 minutes. Yeah.
Perfect. And the net capitalization rate is over 8%. And we're going to go to the building right now. We're going to have a look at the units, and we're going to do all of the numbers in detail in terms of gross revenue and then all the line items in terms of costs, so that we can really see the whole cost structure and really understand the net rental yields.
Perfect. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, so here we are, and this is the building. All right, you can see here the area, the streets. Here's Luigi. You love wearing white, Luigi, eh?
I'm always in white. It's all about energy.
Cool.
And it's cooler.
Yeah, it's hot. It's really hot here. Cool. So this building, can you tell us about look, when I see this, I see all the security stuff. Is there a crime problem in this neighborhood?
No, there isn't a crime problem. It's just for security reasons. So what we try to do is we try to discourage anybody from doing any crime, but we haven't had any problems. It's quite quiet.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. I mean, there are foreigners living in this building. We'll see. Look, so we're just going to go through this, some of the units. Again, this is not a real estate lifestyle channel. We're just going to go through quickly, but the important part is towards the end is doing all the numbers. So this is one of the studios, and there are 10 such studios, right?
That's correct. Yeah, there's 4 down here.
Cool.
These ones were built in 1998, and they're in great shape.
Yeah. So for the local market, this is great. So you were saying if you were to buy this unit, you would kind of redo the floors.
What I would do? Oh yeah. Man, I would have a good time. I would put polished cement here, put lighting in the floor.
Yeah.
Put hanging lights.
Yeah.
You know, more playa style, more Caribbean style. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So a bit of humidity, but nothing too dramatic, because this is something you want to look at when you're investing in like ground floor units. Generally everywhere in the world is looking at humidity, looking at mold. Going into this apartment here, there was no smell of mold. So generally, structurally, it looks good. And this is like a little common area.
Just so here in Playa, everybody's on bikes.
Yeah.
So to be able to have bike parking inside the building secured is super important. So this is positive.
Yeah. And this is one of the main reasons Playa is doing so well is not just the beach and the great airport nearby and all that, but just the fact that it's very walkable. And people are, when they're leaving the US, they're leaving Canada, they want to move into an area with a lot of walkability. And Playa del Carmen and Tulum offers this. So walkability and cyclability. Cool. So this is, what is this here? What are we looking at?
Well, actually, for this building, what I would do is I would turn this into a laundry room and have laundry for everybody living in the building.
Cool.
Right now, it's the owner uses this laundry area.
Cool.
But I would make it available for everybody.
So who's the target market? So if you were to buy this, so let's go around this unit and just tell us about the target market. So this is the 1 2-bedroom unit.
This is the 2-bedroom, yeah, really large.
Okay.
2-bedroom, 2-bath. The target market here is, again, a lot of the people working in tourism, people working here in Playa, people who don't want to spend $1,500 a month in rent living in the center. Here we can live close enough to the center. Fifth Avenue is a block away. So you're close enough to the center, but not having to pay the high prices. So for people living, working in tourism, don't want to spend all their money in rent. They'd rather travel, they'd rather do other things with their money.
So the listing price for these 11 apartments is?
For this building?
Yeah.
Is the listing price $530,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Dollars, US dollars.
US
Okay.
dollars, yeah. So this is a 2-bedroom. It's cool.
Yeah, nothing to say. Cool.
Yeah.
Because again, like Luigi says, everyone's running around targeting tourists, but someone's servicing the tourists, and they need a place to stay. And I have to say, Mexican landlords, I don't want to generalize, but Mexican landlords are not the best landlords. They're not good with maintenance. They're often a bit cheap, etc. So if you actually go into the local market here and you do a half decent job, you'll get all the local tenants. So look, one of the big risks and in investing in long-term rentals is tenancy risk. Because in a lot of countries, trying to kick out tenants that don't pay is a problem.
Yeah, so
So if I get people in here and they stop paying, what do I do?
well, there's a legal process, and it usually takes. Most cases, it's all negotiable. You could probably get the tenant out just negotiating. A lot of the times, it's because they're maybe suffering with money issues. And if you just talk to the tenant, you find out what the problem is. Usually you can find a solution, and they're happy to work it out. If they're just there to commit fraud and not pay, then you go through the legal process, and the lawyers and the cops, and we'll handle that, and they'll get them out. But generally speaking, if you upgrade everything and give people a nice place to live, they'll be happy to live here, and you won't run into that problem.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And then one question is, so also an issue with long-term rentals, especially in local currency, because right now the rent would be in pesos.
Pesos, yeah.
And for example, in Turkey, where I invested, it's a problem. I don't want to find myself where I signed a long-term contract in liras with locals, because the government just caps my rental price increases every year, and it's invariably below the inflation rate. So then I get essentially screwed. So that's why I'm going for short-term rentals. But here in this market, if I want to just raise the rent,
Yeah, there's no rent control in some other markets, like in Canada, United States, where they really control rent control. Here, there isn't.
okay, so I can just raise it.
You can raise it if you like. If you want to stay ahead of inflation, you can do that.
Cool. Okay, so this is very important.
Liz!
Hello, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm good.
Cool. So how long? Where are you from originally?
Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. Cool. How long have you been living here in this apartment?
In this apartment, it's been since end of November,
Okay.
and I'm here till the end of April.
Nice. So snowbird.
You betcha. It's the way to be.
Is it your first time in Playa del Carmen? Why do you like Playa del Carmen?
I like Playa del Carmen because everything is accessible.
What do you define as accessibility?
Taxis are abundant. You can, if you want, anywhere you want to go, you can get a taxi. I bought a bike, so I ride everywhere, and it's not far. I find Playa is kind of compact in that. And it's the other thing that I really like about Playa is it's more, it's kind of North American, but not, like, it's still Mexican, but it's closer to.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said about, to your point, Playa del Carmen and Tulum being a bit part U.S., part Canada, part Mexico. It's just comfortable. It's just easy to integrate a lot of other foreigners. So has it been easy for you to meet other people here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lifestyle. So it's not just about the sun, about the whole comfort. It's also people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did you choose this unit? Can we go in?
Yes, you may come in.
Okay. So cool. So studio. So why this area? Why this unit?
I like Colosio area. I don't want to be in the crowd with all the tourists.
Mm-hmm.
I like this area, and I didn't choose this unit.
Okay. It chose you?
But my closest friends live right next door.
Okay, cool.
And she came up and checked out the units, and she said, "This is the one that's going to be the best for you." And I said, "Okay."
Perfect.
That's awesome.
So I think what's interesting is that it's not just for the local market, but also you can target foreigners as well. So there's you're not just married to one market. So this makes it interesting.
Oh yes, we have people from Germany. They were from Russia here, Holland, others from Canada,
Cool. And
as
locals.
well as locals,
Cool. Perfect.
Mexicans as well.
All right. Fantastic. Elizabeth, thank you very much.
Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Liz.
You're welcome.
Hi, hola. ¿Cómo estás? So they're cleaning this unit.
Okay.
This unit is available to check out if you want.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So I think we get the gist of it.
Yes.
Let's just go. So here there's, all right, a little balcony, and then take us upstairs because this is really cool.
This balcony is for this unit only, so it's
Okay.
private.
Cool.
So this studio, you could probably charge more because of the outdoor space.
Cool.
And
Cool. And then we'll go into all the numbers. So how much per studio per
Wanna go
month,
upstairs?
all the costs. All right. Cool.
I think this is underused space. So in Playa
Yeah.
del Carmen, rooftops they're it. Everybody wants to be on a rooftop. So this has a lot of potential to, first of all, you see these columns here, you can build another floor. So you can put another 5 units on another floor.
I mean, this
I
is
mean, it's,
this is this is really good.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the numbers. They're really good for this building, and we're gonna do the numbers without even taking into account the potential to build another floor. What are construction costs right now? So if we were to build and like another floor consisting entirely of units, just like the one like Elizabeth's.
right. So more basic.
Yeah.
You're looking at between $500 to $600 a square meter.
Okay.
If you want to go more high end, you can go up to 800. But I mean, this is, you know,
So
keep it
$45
basic.
to $55 per square foot
Right.
to build this whole thing of studios just like Elizabeth's.
Right. Just
Cool.
so you guys can get an idea, this is east. This is where the beach is.
Okay.
And this is where Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue is another block.
Cool.
And Fifth Avenue is the main boulevard
Yeah.
where everybody rides their bike. And you can see the ocean. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but you can see the ocean. So you can imagine if we built another floor with a rooftop, we would have a nice view until the rest of this area would be built.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
You know, for now, we would have a view until
Yeah.
new
Until
buildings
there's
come
not.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until there's not, for sure.
I would definitely put a pool up here, put a nice lounge area. Lots of potential.
Cool. Fantastic. All right. Let's go back to the terrace and let's do all of the numbers.
Let's do it.
So Luigi, thank you very much.
My pleasure. You know, I love doing this.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So let's go through Luigi's specialty, which is going through all of the numbers.
Numbers.
All right, so 10 units, 10 studios, plus a 2-bedroom. So what rental income can one expect on average from all of the studios?
From the studios, if we're looking in dollars, I'd imagine here you can definitely get $500 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And $500 is a conservative number, to be clear. And how would you find tenants? I mean, you would do that as the property manager or one of your colleagues, but what's the market like? How do you find tenants here?
You know what? People use Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, and then also brokers. There's just rental brokers that the word gets out really quickly. If you give people a nice place to live at a good price, there's a lineup.
The city is absolutely booming. When you first came here a few years ago, how many people lived here?
When I moved to 2005, there's about 22,000. The population was 22,000.
And now?
307,000.
And it's still booming. I don't have a doubt that these places would rent out. And what about the two-bedroom?
I think this two-bedroom is really large, so I would probably do $700 a month for a two-bedroom. And we're on the terrace right now. It's a big terrace.
Yeah, it's a nice terrace.
Yeah.
And furnished, correct?
Everything's furnished. Furnished, everything, as you see it, that's what you get.
And the building is being sold with furniture?
With everything, as you see it. Yeah.
Cool. So as a landlord, what expenses would I be expected to cover? So in terms of utilities and the like?
Okay, so as a landlord, you would probably want to give people Wi-Fi in the building. So you would cover that. You would cover the water. You would, from the rent, you would cover also, maintaining the property. I think it would be a good idea to have a cleaning lady or a cleaning man, someone, a maintenance person on the premises all the time, just making sure that it's always well maintained and clean. Also cleaning the apartments once a month to also ensure that the apartments are always well kept.
Yeah.
So that's basically the cost. The tenants take care of the electricity.
And that's actually the big one.
Yeah, that's the huge one, especially if you're running air conditioning here.
Yeah.
So tenants take care of that. Everybody's got their own meter.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is big. Cool. So $700 a month for this two-bedroom.
Right.
So essentially, if we do this over a year, so the 10 units at 500 plus the unit at 700, we get to $68,400 per year gross. What do you estimate the occupancy rate would be?
When we do our numbers, I like to use 90%. However, because these are long-term leases, when you know that a lease is about to run out, I'd say 2 months prior, I would put it on Marketplace. I let some agents know, some of the brokers know, and you would have someone waiting to take over the lease once the current tenant vacates. And so you would have maybe 1 or 2 day downtime just to clean, turn it over, do any maintenance. So really 90% is a good number, but you could run it probably a little higher.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's run with 90% to be safe. Property management fees?
I'd say probably around 10% for a building like this.
Cool,
Yeah.
10%. You were mentioning the cleaning person. How much would that be per year? Because what you're doing is quite, I'm not, in all the markets I invest, this is quite a new concept for me of having a cleaning person, not just take care of the common areas, but also going into every apartment and cleaning the apartments once a month.
Yeah.
This is what your recommended approach.
I recommend it just because as an owner, you want to make sure that the places are being cleaned. So when you get the key after a year, there isn't too much maintenance to be done. And that's a way for the owner to keep an eye on each unit. So I would say, a salary.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of a landlord like you. I don't know, sending spies into my unit.
No, that's fine. But it would be in the contract that once a month you get a cleaning, and it's included in the rent. And so, you would have someone on salary, and you'd give someone work every day. So that would cost approximately about $3,500 a year to have someone here.
Cool. So, and I think this is really interesting because ultimately labor in Mexico, especially for that sort of labor, is really affordable.
But then also you treat them nice, you give them bonuses at the end of the year. As a landlord, you want to make sure that they have work every day, and you want to make sure that they're happy and they're able to pay their bills too. So
yeah. So you help give someone a job, and then at the same time, to your point, you're making sure the apartments are clean and well maintained.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, paying $3,500 to have your entire building clean all year round, and being aware of what's happening inside of your units is very positive. I mean, that's very affordable when you take a step back and you look at that.
It is affordable, and you can even increase it. Like I said, as an owner, you want to treat your staff well.
Yeah.
You give them give them the salary for 3 months, see how they work out. If they do a good job, you can increase that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. What about water? You said the landlord needs to cover this.
Yeah, and the water's so cheap here. You're what do we put there? It's probably around maybe under $2,000 a year for water.
Cool. What about the internet?
So for internet, if you do high-speed internet here, most packages are about 500 pesos per line, per modem. So I would probably put maybe 3, maybe 4 in here.
Yeah, one per floor.
One per floor, so everybody can hook up to it. You're looking at probably around $1,000, maybe $2,000 max. If you wanted to increase the lines, if you want to put it on the rooftop,
Okay.
and add another one.
So about $1,000 a year.
1,000 a
And
year,
in
yeah.
terms of maintenance, when there's, I don't know, some tiles that are broken or an issue with the roof or some plumbing, how much maintenance per year?
I like to run with about $2,000 a month. A year. Have that account always with $2,000 to make sure that anything needs to be replaced. Parts at the hardware store, things like that, are pretty cheap. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit of labor. I wouldn't have someone full time on payroll, but you bring them in whenever you need the job done. So
Yeah.
2,000 should cover it.
And it's one of the advantages of investing in markets like Mexico, where labor is affordable and generally competent as well to do such jobs, is you have low maintenance costs. So it's not like when you have a plumbing issue in New York or in Paris,
Yeah.
where you immediately have 4 months of rent that's like gone.
Well,
Here-
it's like $200 to $300 in Canada just to get the plumber to come to your house, and then
Yeah.
after that, it's everything
yeah,
else to
just
repair
him
it.
coming is that.
Yeah.
So maintenance is very low, which really helps with your rental yields and your capitalization rates. So look, this building is 530. Let's run with the assumption that we can negotiate it down to 500,000. You were saying you think you can bring it down more? Yeah, okay. Let's run with the assumption 500K.
I think I could. Yeah.
500K. Closing costs, we have to say, in Mexico are high. That's one of the disadvantages of buying in Mexico. So 7%,
7%. Yeah.
right? So we're at 535. And then you were saying you do a bit of, it picks up a few things, the common areas, some lighting, the whole laundry area as well. So you estimated how much in renovation works?
I'd say I put down about 30,000.
Yeah, and to improve some of the furniture pieces and all
Maybe,
that.
yeah. That's not including building another floor. That's just to take the
this.
building as is. I would do an exterior paint job, maybe update a little bit of the furniture, make it a little nicer. But yeah, 30,000 should be more than enough. Yeah.
Cool. Fantastic. So essentially, we come down to, when we look at the net amount that we receive on a yearly basis before income tax, and divided by the total purchase cost with the closing costs, etc., we're at a net yield of over 8%. And to be very clear, all of these numbers are pretty conservative.
They're conservative. I mean, I like to leave room for improvements. If the deal makes sense like this, there's always ways to make it better and increase, maybe decrease costs, increase revenue.
Yeah.
But just as is, I think it's very
doable.
promising. Yeah.
And then there's, again, the upside of building that extra floor, which is huge. You can have 5 studios up there at $500 a month. That's an extra $30,000 of gross cash flow a year, just by having that extra floor, which is, again, we were doing the numbers earlier, is pretty cheap to build. So building that extra floor, roughly, how much would that cost, do you think?
If we could build about 180 square meters, probably about 110,000. If we're using $600 a square meter, yeah, about 110,000.
Cool. And you could generate about $30,000 in revenue from that. So your net yield would definitely go up. And then if you, on the rooftop, then you actually make it nice and put a little barbecue area, some seating area, maybe a little pool, though you need to check with the static engineer.
Yeah, I need to make sure that it can support a little pool, but even a plunge pool, even just put that jacuzzi, like a cold jacuzzi, which is a big thing here, right?
Yeah.
People think jacuzzi at the Caribbean, why would you use it? No, but they fill up with cold water, put the jets on, and it's nice to sit up there. But you can definitely do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the overall, the rents would maybe go from, especially if you have like the wash area, would go from maybe 500 to, 530 a
Something
month,
like that,
something
yeah.
like that, a little increase of 7 to 8%. That's justified by a nice rooftop. And again, your profitability increases.
My idea here is just to give people a good place to live. make it better, give them a nice place to live, and that justifies the rent. Even though you increase the rents a little bit, if you compare to living in the downtown, which we're just a few minutes outside of the downtown area, it's very affordable. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give affordable housing to the local, but give them a nice place to live.
What would be potential exits for this investment? Is it possible to chop up the studios into different title deeds?
Well, you would have to apply for what they call a régimen de condominio to be able to split and give each unit a title. I don't know if I would do that. I would hold on. If this is cash flowing, I would hold on to it as long as I could until all of the growth gets closer, and then usually you get the knock on the door, hey, we want this land. We want to build something that's 7 floors with the rooftop, maybe even 8 floors by then, as the permits. Every few years they add another floor. The permits add another floor. So I would wait until someone knocked on the door.
Cool.
Absolutely. And I don't think it would take that long. You see just a few blocks away when we're on the rooftop, all the buildings that are getting closer and closer and closer. Just so everybody understands, there's only one way you can grow in Playa del Carmen if you want to be on the beach side, and that's north. And that's this direction. And so it's just a waiting game, I think, at that point. And you can wait because you're getting cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you just look at the raw numbers, so we'd be buying here at about $900 a square meter, so about $80 per square foot. And the new buildings that are closer to the center, they're being sold for $3,500 a square meter.
They've gone up. It's $3,800. Some builders are at almost at $4,000 a square meter. So
it would justify, kind of down the road, tearing down the whole building to build, something brand new with all the luxuries and the amenities, because that's where the market is headed.
That's where it's going.
So cool. Okay, fantastic, great. And is this unique, or are there other opportunities like this?
No, there's more. There's more. There's a lot. This neighborhood is very large. We're in the Colosio, and we're on 68th. It goes all the way to 108th. There's a lot more opportunity, and I've got my eye on it.
Yeah. So I'm here, and you made me fly over here because we're checking out another one.
I didn't make you.
Yeah.
I kind of did. Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Because the numbers are even better.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look at that. That one would be for me.
And I appreciate it. He came into town just for 36 hours to do this with me, so that's awesome.
Cool. And so, look, overall, that's the investment thesis. I see you invest in Mexico, you diversify away from your Western markets, you invest in a market where a lot of people are moving to. The flood of people moving here to Mexico on a permanent basis, especially to the whole Riviera Maya area, is absolutely astounding. Tons of North Americans, tons of Europeans. Mm-hmm. They're moving here for lifestyle. They're moving here because they want to get away from toxic politics. They're moving here because they feel a bit more freedom. They're moving here for just so many people from so many backgrounds. Cost as well. People are just moving here for a lot of different reasons. So if you're interested in making a real estate investment here in Playa del Carmen or in Tulum, so in such buildings or just in normal condos, etc., Luigi has a real estate agency here. You really focus on helping investors as opposed to only lifestyle people. You do both?
I do both, absolutely. But yeah, if you're investment oriented, if you're really looking for ROI, then I can definitely help you with that.
Cool.
Fantastic. This is an example of it.
Yeah, this is a very good example. So there is a link below with more information on Luigi's services. Luigi, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming down. I appreciate it. Bye, everyone.
You can go to my website, thewanderinginvestor.com, and sign up to the private list. It's entirely free. This way you will be getting insider information as I travel around the world looking for opportunities. Lastly, feel free to follow me on Instagram at The Wandering Investor. I look forward to hearing from you.